Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it may be when you guys are tuning in to this broadcast. I am your international award winning author, literary extraordinaire, and awe inspiring coach, Toneal M. Jackson. And I want to welcome you guys to another inspirational talk with Toneal. And today we are focusing on my women. This is the I'm Glad to Be a Woman edition. I have a very special guest that is going to be joining me in the studio very shortly. And so, what I want to do is just kind of talk a little minute. Let me see if I can do this. Hold on one second. Uh, Hold on. See if I can help out real quick. Y'all give me one quick second as I am get this going. As you all are coming in, please feel free to say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And you guys give me one quick second to get this going. Hold on. Uh, Hold on. Anybody that knows me knows that I cannot talk and text at the same time. That is not something that the Lord gave me to do. I am not gifted in that way. So y'all give me one quick second because got a little something that's going on the other end. So y'all give me one quick second, but come on in, say hello, and we're gonna get started in a minute. Alrighty. So as you guys are coming on again, please feel free to say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. And then you can also feel free to tag somebody and then share the video. Share the video. If you all have never seen the Inspirational Talk with Tennille show, this is just a time where we are just sitting and we are conversing. And so again, my guests will be tuning in with us very shortly. But we are just having a very great conversation and just doing some things, talking about some things that may bring some inspiration to you and to what it is that you're doing. And what I do want to do is also remind you all that on tomorrow I will not be live. I typically am off on Wednesdays, or I use Wednesdays as my makeup show. So like next week I'll be going live on Wednesday because I won't be going live next Friday. See how that kind of goes. So in either case, on Thursday, I have a very special guest. Mr. Christopher Greer will be my guest on this Thursday. And then Friday is our educated and empowered political show. So we are going to be talking about that. So hold on one quick second. Hold on. You guys give me a quick moment because let's see. I may end up having to go off and come back on. We're gonna see. We are going to see. Um, if that's not it. So, alrighty, guys. I apologize again. Thank y'all for everybody that's coming on. Thank you guys again so much. Again, feel free to say hello. Let me know that you're watching. Let's see. I think she is finally here. We had just a couple technical difficulties, but it looks like that she is here and that she is situated. And so, my guest for today, guys, is somebody who I have just recently met since the pandemic, but she is absolutely incredible. And I know that you guys are going to love her just as much as I do. Please help give a warm welcome to Miss Markeyta Sconiers. Hello, ma'am. How are you?
Hey, lady. Oh, God. Technical difficulties. I made it, though.
But you know, that's what I was just gonna say. You are here, and that is all that matters. Hello,
Yeah.
ma'am. How are you?
I am doing pretty okay. I can't complain. Thankful to be here. How about you?
Girl, look, we are here. My dad used to always say complaining doesn't help anything anyway. So we just keep it moving. So what I want to do for those people who girl, wait, are you wearing the educated and empowered shirt? Are you doing it?
You didn't give
Are
me a
you
chance to
doing it?
tell you. You didn't give me a chance. You
Yes,
did.
I love it. I love it. You are gonna have to take a picture of that and put it on Facebook. Okay. For those of y'all who don't understand why I am super duper excited. So like I launched the educated and empowered line earlier this month. Like it was like probably around the first or second week of October. And Markeyta was like one of the first ones that was like, I want one of those shirts. And she is representing with the shirt. I love it. Thank you so much, man. I so
You
appreciate you.
welcome.
Oh
My
my
pleasure.
god, like I'm gonna cry for real.
Oh,
Like, thank
no
you. No, thank I'm gonna try not to because I don't want to mess up the makeup, but still, like, thank you so much. That means like so much to me for real, for real. I'm so serious. So, hey, Miss Tiffany. Okay, so look, for everybody who has been under a rock, you give them just a little bit of an introduction of who you are. Just tell them a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am Markeyta Sconiers. I am a church girl, raised Pentecostal in the Church of God in Christ, or Churches of God in Christ. I am a singer, been singing since I've been a child. I've been a worship leader for over 27 years. I've been singing professional for a lot of years, recorded my own CD, recorded on other CDs. I'm also an educator. I've been a teacher of some sort for over 24 years.
Wow.
Presently, a psychology and social science professor, as well as a program director of a grant funded program with the City Colleges of Chicago, focusing on wellness and community violence and trauma that our people have encountered. I'm a licensed minister.
Girl.
I have other things I'm not going to even get into all the other little things that I do. But
Wait, wait.
I also sing
Wait,
with
it's one thing you better say that I don't remember hearing you say
uh,
because your friend and mine, if you don't say that other one, we both gonna have somewhere to find
you are
to go.
correct. And I am the COO of Courtney Music Inc. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Thank you for
I care
the.
about your life. I care about your whole
Thank you
life.
for saving my life. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let me tell you something. I want to again thank you because after hearing all of those things you just listed, child, where do you find the time and to make the time for me to be on my show? I just want to say thank you. I am just so grateful for you and your time. Thank you. Thank you
Oh,
so
it's my
much.
pleasure. You are amazing.
Girl,
And I know that we as Christians we're supposed to love everybody. I can like you, but if I really, really like you, I'll be around you. But if not, But so I enjoyed the time I've been around you, and there's more to come. I
yay.
know. Thanks for having
Absolutely. It
me.
is
Thank
so
you.
much more to come. Absolutely. So, like, I want to kind of jump into some stuff. The first thing is officially, you are Dr. Markeyta Sconiers. So, tell us about that journey. Like, what was it like to go through? Because it's hard. Like, people just look at it and think that it's nothing to just blink and now you have those letters in front of your name. But I'm sure that was a whole journey.
Yes, it was. Um it was quite difficult. And at the time that I was finishing and graduating, it was what I call my year from hell. I had six back-to-back deaths. So I honestly finished in a haze. It was God.
Mhm.
I it got to a point where I was delaying my writing to finish, and my dissertation chair was like, "You have no more
Wow.
space. Unless you want to pay a whole lot more money, you have no
Mhm.
more space." So honestly, it was God that got me through. But as I said, I was an educator for many years, and I had the example of my grandmother in my home, who I feel was the greatest educator, and I just followed her example. She taught for the Chicago Public Schools for many years, then had her own Christian school for almost 30 years. I saw her go back
Wow.
and get her doctorate of education, and I knew that it was attainable. I knew it wasn't
Mhm.
easy, but I knew it was attainable. So after I got my master's, I was like, okay, I'm done. Because I don't like reading like that. I like to read, but not like that.
Yeah.
And writing papers, sometimes the educators can be the worst students, and that is me.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I did not want to go back. But after a year of finishing my master's, I was like, just one more. Then they told me for the doctorate of education, oh, it'd be 4 years. 4 years. But
Yeah.
I went for it. And besides my grandmother being my inspiration, the other reason I went for it is God had given me a vision some years ago of how I would help youth. And I did not know that. I know I had worked with youth,
Wow.
but I didn't know exactly how it would pan out. And my doctoral research was based on giving youth strategies to cope with trauma that
That's
they've experienced.
good.
And I specifically came, you have to be specific when you're doing your dissertation. They like, yeah, I know you want to save the world, but you have to have a specific angle. You could go save the world when you graduate. So
Mhm.
my specific angle was giving strategies to cope with trauma for Black youth in the greater Bronzeville community who had been directly affected by gun violence.
Wow.
So in
Wow.
doing that, I found a new part of my ministry,
Mhm.
and it developed into a program that is still with my church's nonprofit. I was the founding executive director of my church's nonprofit, but when I resigned and turned it over to a good girlfriend of mine, they kept my program there. And the program is still in the Chicago Public Schools, where we come in and we discuss their trauma. You know, we do it
Mhm.
through peace circles, or some people call them healing circles. And that was my motivation to do get my doctorate degree, so that I can do the program that God was showing me to do and to help many of the youth that were in the greater Brownsville community and beyond. And now the job that I have at City Colleges of Chicago is doing the same thing, but
Wow.
it is with our students, our faculty, staff, and the communities surrounding our campuses.
That is OMG. Have I already said, let me take my hat off to you and let me,
Oh,
I
you
mean,
so
like,
sweet.
that is just so incredible. I love people who have a heart for others, right? Like, especially in this day and age, people are so selfish and they're so all about the me, my, and I,
Mm-hmm.
and so when you understand that this world needs to be a better place because you were in it, to understand that I'm not going to always be here, so I need to leave something behind that's going to speak for me. Girl, we got to speak offline because I just love that vision, that whole thing that you did with the young people being able to help. I mean, and it's going to help for so many generations to come.
Indeed.
I think that that is so huge. Like, and even in being able to finish your doctorate, like when I finished my master's degree, that was my goal to go back to get my doctorate. But I had a lot of health issues, and I was actually advised not to go back, right? And then I had a prophet speak to me, lady I'd never seen before. She didn't know nothing about me. And I had been trying, Marquita, I had been trying for, I don't know, maybe about 6 months or so to try to get everything back in order to go back to school because I wanted to do, what did I want to do? Organizational leadership. I wanted my doctorate in organizational leadership.
Not
And so,
wanted, you want. You're gonna go back. You want.
girl, wait, but she told me, she's like, the Lord said that
Okay.
it's not going to work out no matter how much you try to make it because
Okay.
you don't need it right now. Like everything,
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to put what you're supposed to be doing on hold, thinking that this piece of paper is qualifying you. But the
Understood.
Lord said that you can get started now. He's already qualified you to do the work. And
Indeed.
so I want for those who are listening to understand both sides of the story,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Both sides of the coin. Like, don't allow anything to hold you back. In my situation, God is just like, not yet, as you said, not yet. This isn't the time. I've already qualified you. In your
Mm-hmm.
situation, he's like, here's a door where you can go and open and do what you need to do. So we don't have any excuses. And that's really the point that I want to put out there for the people, regardless of when you do it. There's no such thing as a it's too late. You can always, regardless of all the things that happens in your life, because life is gonna happen. When you said you had 6 back-to-back deaths, Marquita, when I tell, and I think you've heard some of my story before, from '02 to 2012, every year I had at least one major death. In 2013, it was three, two first cousins and an uncle. So I totally know where you're coming from. And that stuff takes a toll on you psychologically. Like,
Indeed.
how were you able to bounce back mentally, emotionally, spiritually from such a heavy loss?
To be honest, it was tough because the sixth death happened within a month of my graduation. So at that point, I was absolutely numb.
Understood.
I went to counseling. I got me a therapist. I got Jesus, but I got me a therapist.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
it was just a thing. Some Black people feel, we can talk to the pastor, but we don't have to go talk. No.
Mhm.
And at the time, my marriage at the time was failing. It was, and my health, it was a lot. And I said, if I don't, listen, I'm gonna be honest. I told my pastor, I said, listen, if I don't go and talk to somebody, I'm either gonna be an alcoholic or
Mhm.
a weed head.
Mhm. Mhm.
Just, I need something. So I ended up with a counselor, and at first I went to a wonderful black woman. Okay, I'm just say this. I have a black woman counselor now, but I went to a black woman at the time, and she was just not the right fit for me at the
Mhm.
time in that season. But there
Mhm.
was the whitest, sweetest, cutest, whitest woman that was the perfect fit for me during that season. She got me through.
Mhm.
She got me through, and of course, a lot of prayer because my church walked me through that. And I was only good during that season, during those 2 hours I was at church. When I
Mhm.
was leading worship and in church, I was in heaven. Soon
Mhm.
as made a little watch, it came crashing back down on me, and that
Girl.
was real. So it was difficult. Like I said, a lot of it honestly is a haze. It is a haze. I don't know.
Mhm.
Thank God for video and pictures
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
I felt myself naturally dying. I was already mentally dying, spiritually dying, but naturally, my body. You know how they say that some people. I had an aunt that passed away from grief,
Mhm.
and that's how I felt. My body was just starting to shut down.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So it was God, and I'm not trying to be. It was God because I don't know. I don't know how.
Mm-mm. No, 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 no. You're not being deep, and I can totally identify with you wholeheartedly with what you're saying. Because that's oh God, girl, I don't even know where to start. And I think that might be one of the reasons why we connected, because from a spiritual standpoint, our stories are very similar. And just being able, because I'm an empath, so just being able to feel
Yes.
that, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't understand, and I'm so glad you were so transparent, because I tell people all the time, being all so holy does not help nobody. When you act like you done always been there, you done always, you ain't never did nothing. I ain't never drank, I ain't never smoked, I ain't never. Well, you know what? I'm so happy for you, but that's not my story. And
Mhm.
you're not going to be somebody that I can relate to, because I've done some things that I wasn't proud of. I
Yep.
felt some things that I wasn't proud of. And so if you can't be able to relate to me, and like you say, we go to church, and a lot of times it's not that you don't love Jesus. It's not that you don't have a relationship with Jesus. It's just that sometimes you don't know how to deal with, because flesh is a
Exactly.
mess. You
Exactly.
understand what I'm saying? And when we're going through and there's so much pain, so much hurt, it's like, how in the world can I deal with this? And like you said, if it's not God, so that ain't being deep, that's being real. It
Yeah.
take God to get us through.
Indeed.
So I just want to, thank you for sharing that, because I'm sure that nugget is going to help somebody. And then the other part that you spoke on when you were talking about counseling, I'm working on a project now, and it's with a group of Black men. And one of the things that I talk about with them is having them bring out their thoughts and feelings about counseling, because I believe we need to normalize counseling, mental
Indeed.
health. Like, because it's so crazy to me, and I've heard people say it before, we have no problems if we start aching in our bodies. Nobody thinks that you're any less saved because you go to see a physical or medical doctor.
You
But
better
if you
say it.
start experiencing mental issues, I can't get over this grief or this depression or whatever it is that got me off. Oh, now my faith is in question because I want to go and see a mental doctor. Like,
Hmm.
it takes you have to be spiritually whole as well as mentally and emotionally whole as well as physically whole. It's an entire picture. And so
Hmm.
for people, I want us to get to a point where this is really normalized, where it's nothing. My daughter told me, and I haven't even said this, the first time I'm saying this. She told me, I think this was maybe about a week ago. We were driving to school, and she was like, and this is my 15-year-old, she's like, Mom, I think I need to see a counselor. And I told her, I was like, first I asked, I said, are you serious? And then she was like, yeah. She said, because I think I just got some things going on. And I told her, I am so proud of you for speaking out on that, because I'm praying that this generation behind us and those other generations behind us will not think it embarrassing, will not think it, you know what I'm saying? Like how
Mhm.
our generation and the generation before us either questions your sanity, they question your spirituality,
Yeah,
when mental health is necessary.
indeed. Indeed. And as I was talking about the job that I have now that I know God gave me, because I was all right teaching, I really wasn't trying to go back to work, but this job was really tailor made for me so much that my supervisor is a minister too, and that she kind of changed the description so that she could hire me and didn't even know me. So I know it was God. But anyhow,
Wow.
um, as you were talking about mental health needing to be significant or important in the lives of people of color like us, what I am blessed to do is to kind of be that middle person on the path to that, where I'm in a space where I've been trained to put people in spaces together. It's a non-clinical space, so you kind of getting counseling without getting counseling,
Mhm.
and I can refer you out for further professional counseling. But I know God put me there because I have the experience of dealing with different types of trauma. People look at me and say, "Oh, Dr. Markeyta, yes, thank you," but as I always say, it takes a lot to be me.
Mhm.
Period. And I've
Mhm.
been through a lot to be who you see now, who's quite imperfect, but
Mhm.
yes, God has afforded me to be able to be that person and to make spaces around the city of Chicago, as we're planning now, to have people of color come in, where, because sometimes they don't feel safe talking to somebody they don't know.
Yeah.
They like, why are you really talking to me? I don't know you. I don't trust you. Or they might not have adequate insurance. You always have
Mhm.
co-pays and things. It's a lot of different reasons that people
Mhm.
don't talk. But being a woman of color, my hope is that they will see me and hear me and know that I'm just like you. I've been through
Absolutely.
all. I tell people I'm a minister, but I'm not your typical minister. I'm your pierced, tatted minister. So I have had more ministry conversations around the tattoos that people see on me versus my singing.
Mhm. Mhm.
So God has made it so that I can be relatable even through my trauma. Who likes to go through trauma? I'm still going through trauma, but I know it's not for me. So
Girl.
I'm just thanking God that I can be in spaces that are non-clinical so that people can feel comfortable to come and speak about their trauma. And like I said, then I can resource them out to somebody more professional. So you pray for me, because this is a heavy task, but we
Mhm.
need it. I know me and my program, we can't do it all, but
Come on.
and I have had a number of meetings with faith-based organizations and pastors,
Mhm.
because not only do we need to come together to talk about different traumas, whether it's grief, whether it's abuse, whether it's violence, whether it's discrimination, but church hurt is real.
Yes, ma'am.
I walked away from ministry for a hot minute because I was like, if this is what you called me to, I'm good. Mm-mm.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I had to walk away, and I had to take 2 years to heal before I could come back home.
Girl, wait, can I tell you? I just spoke Sunday and my message was the blessing of nevertheless.
Mm.
And the subtext was, it might be bad, but it'll get better. Because a lot of times when we're talking about stuff like that, see, people don't understand. As you said, they look at you, they see your titles, whether in ministry or what you're doing in the world, your doctorate, all of that. But the Bible says, to whom much is given, much is required.
Mm-hmm.
And don't nobody want to ask about everything that you got to give to
Yeah,
be able to be what they see. You see what I'm saying? And when
indeed.
you're talking about, who child, because especially if you know the people that you're worshiping with, if it's not always easy to be in that space. And I'm trying to tell you, I told them, I said, I had a Jesus moment when it was like, I really don't want to do this. Like, I'm really trying to be, can I go peace, kick my stool? I'm really trying to be gone. But
Mm-hmm.
if this is your will, nevertheless, not my will be done. And sometimes it takes us a moment for that nevertheless. to be fully executed. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like you go through different things and God is like, because when God is in you, he's in you. And so it's like you might leave, you might, like you say, have to go this way, that way. But at the end of the day, you're gonna do what he told you to do, regardless of what that may be,
Yeah.
when you're really trying to live for him. And it's hard, Marquita. Can I be honest? It's hard because like your flesh be done panned out a whole nother scenario that ain't gonna hurt as bad. And sometimes the road that God wants you to travel is gonna stretch you, it's gonna hurt you, it's not gonna always feel good. And we always think that it's about the feel good,
Hmm.
but it don't always be about the feel good.
Not at all.
It don't, it don't always feel good. So for those of you who are just tuning in, my guest has been Dr. Markeyta Sconiers, and we kind of talked about a lot. We ain't finna backtrack. Y'all can be kind of rewind after we're done. But what I want to do now, we've talked about kind of like the spiritual part of you and some of the natural part, but now I want to talk about another part. You said in your intro that you are a singer. You've been singing for years. So I kind of want to talk a little bit about that. And I'm wondering if that singing journey is what catapulted you to becoming the COO. And so we definitely have to talk about that. So let's talk about Markeyta as the singer. Like, what does wearing that hat look and feel like?
Okay, well, I started singing. Of course, Church of God in Christ. You start singing in the Sunshine Band. So I had my first little solo. I was like 5 years old. I had but I was singing like a little kid. Nothing special about that. But I remember I would go to my aunt's house who lived next door to my grandmother's, and I would just be over there. She always had music. There was always music in my home, but it was always music next door, and we were playing around, and I was singing, and she was like, "Whoa, wait a minute," and she just started teaching me songs, and I was 8. And my
Wow.
first solo at church was Good Friday when I was 8 years. I'm not gonna give you the year. I know the year, but I was 8 years old, and I lie to you not. From that night, I sang at every service at my great grandfather's church until I left at 19.
Wow.
So it wasn't all pleasant. Just to have to sing all the time, no matter how you felt. No one asked you.
Mhm. Mhm.
You're doing it for the Lord. You
Mhm.
know,
Mhm.
can you buy me a bottle of water?
Mhm.
Okay, I got you, but you're doing it for the Lord. Just go
For the
ahead.
Lord. Mhm.
My stomach hurt. It's okay. But anyhow,
Well, that's it
so
for the Lord.
it's
Yeah.
a little kind of different experience. But as a teenager, when I began to really know God for myself and have a relationship with God, and when I was 14, I joined the Soul Children of Chicago choir under Walt Whitman. And that was the first time that I had got together with a lot of other people my age
Mhm.
from a
Mhm.
lot of different denominations, but we all love God.
Yes.
So that just kind of opened my eyes to something new and just kind of strengthened my relationship with God at that time. So that's kind of, not kind of, it's when the love of music and the gift that God has given me began to grow. And
Mhm.
then it just kind of went from one space to another. I was dating a guy in the Soul Church of Chicago. He was a musician at Sweet Holy Spirit with Bishop Larry Trotter. I ended up going there. Once they knew I could sing, and they had just started a Saturday service worship with the worship team. And they were like, "Well, you can sing. Just come on." I wasn't a member yet, still in my great
Mhm.
grandfather's church, but
Mhm.
I sang with them on Saturdays. One Saturday, the worship leader didn't show up.
Ooh,
And
okay.
they were like,
Your
"Miss
gift made room
Taylor."
for you.
And I'm like, "Hold on. We don't do it like
Yeah.
this in the Koji church."
Right.
But so I was kind of pushed into leading worship. But within a year, I was there. I was a member there. But I was leading worship there before I was a member there.
Mhm.
And, God began to speak to me that, I've called you to not necessarily at the time preach the gospel, but to minister the gospel through song. And through your ministering the gospel through song, people will be healed, people will be delivered, people will be set free. And I used to have this, complex, well, I don't sound like so and so, I can't run
Yeah.
like this. But what I've
Mhm.
grown to know is you're going to bless who God has called you to bless. Everybody is not for everybody, but there, because even now, people are like, where have you been? Why aren't you doing music? I'm waiting for music because people remember me as a little girl, or when I recorded with Sweet Holy Spirit or other people, and they're still telling me how they've been blessed. So
Yeah.
that's been encouraging. So just over the years, as I said, I got to have my own relationship with God. I began to get more exposure, singing um, a- around the world with different people and different recording artists. I was blessed for my 30th birthday some years ago to record my own CD. It was my first time writing, and I did that. I wanted to do that for myself.
Yeah.
And it was a blessing to do that at the time. I consider it my baby. I still have copies here and there. People still requested it, so I just downloaded it and sent it. Here you go. But anyhow, just leading worship over all these years, and singing here and there. But how I came to be COO of Corbin Music Inc., the CEO, Matthew Long Jr., he and our childhood friends, we grew up in church. We're in the same district in First Jurisdiction, Illinois. So our families go back to great grandparents, all the way generations. So I've known him forever, and known of him, friends on Facebook, but we kind of lost touch. And during the pandemic, he was doing videos,
Mhm.
and somehow we just connected. We have the same birthday, so we always reached out on our birthdays
Mhm.
to say happy birthday. But just during the pandemic, you got a little more time, so we connected, and we ended up doing a video, and it was great. It was good to connect with him. He's followed me, I followed him musically, and we just our friendship just kind of rekindled at that point. And then he went on to do his Christmas single, Christmas
Mhm.
Romance. And
Mhm.
just kind of, with us talking, he just valued my insight. The little that I know, he just valued my insight. And so then we just continued to work together. And I just began to do more and more as he entrusted me to, for his music and for the company. And then we talked about me doing music as well, which I will do at the top of next year. And then it just honestly seemed kind of natural. He was like, well, I'm just make you COO. You're doing stuff anyway. So, and because we're so much alike, yeah, we bump heads and things like that. But it is a good match. It is a good fit. We complement each other when it comes to music and when it comes to business. So it's a blessing because I love to sing. I don't know anything else but to sing,
Mhm.
but I like the other part of the business part of it too, where I can do something a little different. I don't know a whole lot, but I do have some experience, and just to you be able to use that experience and to have someone value my experience and my opinions, that feels
Yeah.
great. So, we're just starting out, oh, hold on. Shameless plug. If you
You
don't
better
have it,
hold it up, girl.
if you don't have it, I can get you a hard
Yes.
copy if you still you play CDs. Go to Markeyta Markeyta.Sconiers at CourtneyMusic.com. You can get a hard copy, or you can find Matthew Long Jr. on all of your digital music platforms. Okay, we need you to stream. We need you to buy. Okay, when you're buying and supporting Matthew, you're buying and supporting me. Okay, he's the CEO, and the COO will be coming out with her music too. But anyway, that's
You better
shameless.
say it. Did you say that's Markeyta Sconiers at CourtneyMusic.com? That what you said?
Markeyta.Sconiers at CourtneyMusic.com. And
Girl, I
hey,
put
if you can't remember all that, go to
oh,
the
I
P
just put it in the
box.
comment section. So
Oh,
that way they
okay.
don't even have to remember. They can look at it. Hey, Miss Leah. Hey, Jennifer. Hey, Kanita. Hello to everybody that is tuning in. Look, let me tell you something. When you were talking earlier about how all these years later, people still listen to your voice and they listen to your music and are blessed by it. Here's the thing I love about God. His goodness never expires. It doesn't have an
Mm-hmm.
expiration date. So when you start thinking and singing about the goodness of Jesus, it don't
Mm-hmm.
matter if you were 13, 23, 33. He's still good at any age. You see what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes,
And it's
indeed.
so funny to me because even in church, like now, because like you, I grew up in a family, we grew up singing and all that. Now I'm not a singer, but you just grew up in a singing family. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like here it is in my 40s that we still go back to some of those same songs we sung when I was 15, 16 years old. You see what I'm saying? It still has power. They don't lose power. That oil, as they say, the oil is
Exactly.
still there,
Indeed.
so I just oh my God, just kudos to you. All of the things that you are doing. And I
Pray for
told
me.
you that when we saw each other at the gala, I said, girl, you next. I mean, we were there to support Mr. CEO. I'm sorry, CEO. Let him sing, have the microphone. Caitlin grabbed the microphone. But next time I want to hear you sing. We're gonna have an event just so you can sing. How about that?
Okay. Wait, let me do this before I get in trouble. As long as the CEO approves.
That's because look, just in case he come back and watch the show, we gotta make sure that every I was dotted and T was crossed. We
Get me in trouble.
I love it though. I love it. I love everything that you guys are doing with Courtney
Thank
Music.
you.
I have my copy of the other CD. I downloaded as well, because what I believe in supporting, and I think we all do. And that's one of the things that kind of connects us as well. It's so great when you can support without being insecure, without being
Mm-hmm.
jealous. And I don't mean us, I'm talking about
Mm-hmm.
large. So many times people will not support somebody else because they're afraid that it's going to take them down. Well,
Indeed.
I don't want to buy your song when my song is out, or I'm not going to go to your event when I got an event. Let me tell you something. I tell people all the time, if I can't go, I'm gonna try to support in some type of way. If I can't financially support, I'll share it on social media. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
send somebody, tell somebody, like, that's just what I feel like we're supposed to be able to do one for another. We should want to see each other win all the time.
Indeed.
So
Yes.
in either case, so you sing, you COO, you program direct, you
Pray for me. I'm
what
cutting some of this out. I'm cutting
I
some of this
can't
out.
what don't you do? Like, what is it? Complete this sentence. You couldn't pay me enough to what?
I don't have enough time to think about that. You okay? You okay? Okay, I will say this, and please listen to my heart because I've done it. You can't pay me enough to teach little children again. I love my years as a first and second grade teacher and teaching kindergarten preschool, but not in this season. Not in this.
I love it. Not in this season. This ain't the season for it. We not kind of move. Okay, here's this one. One of the greatest lessons I've learned is
One of the greatest lessons I've learned is to always just be yourself and not compare yourself to others.
mm,
And especially in the music industry, as I said, you have people that will compare you to other people and even say it to you to see how you react. And you don't
mm,
know if it's an encouragement or they're looking for you to,
a
so you really
setup.
don't know
Mhm,
a setup. You don't know if it's a setup.
mhm,
And as I stated, sometimes you can be like, well, God didn't give me this. And when I was younger, I had, the confidence that, well, I can't run like this. It's not meant for me to. I got about two good runs in my pocket, and I know when to use them and flip them and switch them up. That's all I got. That's all I got. I can't.
can't
That's all I
stand
can.
you.
I can't run you up and down and all the way around. God didn't make me that way. He
I
didn't.
can't stand you, Markeyta. I
He
can't.
didn't. So, and even at this age, I'm still learning to put that before me. Be yourself.
Mhm,
People love you for who you are. You're your best self to yourself when you who you are. And to
absolutely.
be honest, if they can't get with who you are, then they weren't meant to be that
For
close to
you,
you. You have to watch. I have to watch who I allow access to me in this season. Not to be all that. No, but I can't allow anyone and anything to take me off my square. I've worked hard to get to this place of loving myself. I'm okay with myself, my flaws, my wrinkles, my rolls, whatever all of that. I'm okay with it. And if you can't be, God bless you. I still love you.
that
So,
part.
yeah.
That part, when I say, I don't know, but for me, I don't know if it was, I can't even say it was when I got to my 40s, because I'll be honest, I started coming into that probably around 37, where I stopped that whole season of people pleasing, where it had to, I was so concerned about what everybody else was saying and doing and thinking, because at the end of the day, you will run yourself raggedy trying to please folks. And then guess what? They still not pleased. Like the one time you say no, then that's all that they're going to remember. All of the times you said yes, all of the things you did,
True.
they don't remember none of that, you know. And I think that one of the reasons for me being so much of being a people pleaser was because I had low self-esteem issues, right? Because I didn't love me. And I think a lot of times what happens is when you don't love you,
Yeah.
you really, 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 really want other people to love you. So therefore, you're willing to just put yourself out there just so that people. And the fact is that they don't actually love you; they're actually taking advantage of you, but you don't realize that. You see what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
I think for me, when I came into the season of loving myself, my eyes was so opened about the other folk that were in my life to really see if they were here for me or if they were just here for what they could get from me.
And
And
if
so,
I can
go
add
ahead.
on just a little bit, or
Mhm.
people are in love with the anointing that's on your life. The anointing is attractive. So let you come up with a flaw. Let you find out you're not so holy. Oh, yeah, they gone. You know what I'm saying? So also you
Oh,
don't love me.
I
I'm
know
not
what you're saying.
Jesus.
Look,
I'm not even married. So you
we
didn't
should.
love me.
You gonna make me throw something at you through the computer. Do you understand me? I promise you, Mark. I say the exact same thing. I tell people all the time because people say to me, "Oh, I love how real you are." I'm not doing it because for you to love me. This is just who I am. Like I feel like one of the reasons why we were talking about church hurt and stuff earlier. I think one of the reasons why churches suffer so badly is because people portray a false image,
You
right?
better
When
say it,
they try
yeah.
to make it seem as though that everybody's just so holy and everybody ain't nobody doing nothing wrong. Then as soon as I see that you're not everything that you acted like you was, my mind is blown. For me, I tell people all the time, look, I'm not perfect. Don't ever say you want to be like me. If there's something in me, understand that that's Jesus. So go
Hmm.
like the Jesus that you see. Don't act because Toneal by herself, that ain't what you're trying to aim for. You see what I'm saying? And I think that one of the reasons why ministry is different on this level in this generation is because we're focused on Jesus and ministry, not about making it be about me. You don't have to be about me. So, like, yeah, like, as you said earlier, you said, "Well, I got tattoos and I got this and that." I don't have tattoos, but I got some sins. I got some flaws. I got some things that don't make. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And people will look at your titles and they'll say, "Okay, well, you're a minister, or you're a missionary, or you're a first lady, or you're an evangelist, or you're this or that." So that must mean that you're holy and that you're I won't even say holy because we do strive for holiness. We try to
Hmm.
walk in holiness, but they
Hmm.
that makes you perfect and that
Hmm.
you are flawless. No, 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 no. I have flaws. I make mistakes. It may not be malicious. You know what I'm saying? It may not be intentional, but I still mess up. I still
Hmm.
need to pray. The same God that I prayed to for y'all, I need you to pray to for me as well. You know, and I tell my congregation that every Sunday, like, don't get so caught up where you putting man on a pedestal, because that's what we do a lot of times. And because I'll mess up, and then I'll be done fell off of that pedestal, and because that's the only person that you was looking at, when I fall off your pedestal, then you want to walk away from the church. But if you keep God high and not exalted, he'll
Yeah.
never fall. He'll never fall. You know, so anywho, anywho. If you had any encouraging words, final remarks that you would like for people to know, people that's watching whether live or on the replay, what would those words be?
I will say this, and I say it to myself yet and still, it's never too late. I went back to school a little later. If you want to go back to school, don't feel that you're too old to go.
Mhm.
If you want to try something new, don't feel that it's too late. Like I still know I have a book to write. I gotta hook up with Lady Toneal because I
You
have.
got girl, you better call me.
It's never too late, and I've had that book in me, and and I will say this about my good friend Matthew Long, because we've had conversations about me and music, and even though I've recorded and sang background and traveled the world, I beat myself down. I've been discouraged because people in the industry that I serve, people have betrayed me or used me or what have you. So I was discouraged. I was like, I don't have to record again. But just talking to him, he was like, no, why not? And I went through my whole list of why not. But you know what? They didn't call me. I had to remember they did not call me.
That part.
So yes, I will record again. I still
Mhm.
have something left in me to give, to offer. And
Mhm.
that's you too. You have something left in you to give, to offer. You might go through a season like I did. You need, want to chill for a minute. You're tired of church folk and, you're tired of everybody but God. Might be a little mad at him too, but you be careful. But still, take
Girl.
that time. We're human. Take that time.
Yes.
But eventually get back up. Get the help you need, whether it's a therapist, don't become no alcoholic or no weed here. But if it's a therapist or your pastor or your good girlfriend or whatever, do that. Take the time that you need. But it is not too late. You have something that the world needs to see. I'm a living witness, and
Oh
I'm
my
still
God.
trying stuff.
You supposed to be being real serious right now. I should have took myself off the screen
Stop.
because you a whole fool, and I'm laughing the whole time while you trying to be real serious with folks. So when y'all watch this, forgive me. Listen to
No,
everything she
that's
said
good.
because
You
that
make
was
me laugh. Yeah.
legit. That was great advice. Like, don't become an alcoholic or weed head. Like, turn to Jesus. Turn to somebody that you know that you can trust. Be careful with who it is that you call yourself trusting because everybody
Mm-hmm.
ain't trustworthy, but still never give up on you. I love that. Especially when you're talking about like going back to school or writing a book. It's so many people that they honestly think once they hit 30, 40, 50, because
Indeed.
we do that to ourselves, don't we? We give ourselves a particular age that we're supposed to accomplish these goals by. And then we feel like if we didn't do it by this age, that it's too late. But God never said that it was too late. He never and here's the irony. There are some in certain situations you couldn't have done it at the age you want to do it in because you have to experience some things
That's
that's
true.
going to add value. By the time it's time for you to do that thing, it's like you have to have gone through some stuff. If you haven't went through it, even when you're writing a song, it's certain songs you can't write until
Yeah,
you go through certain experiences. You know what I'm saying?
that's
And
true.
there are things that you ain't went through at 16 and 17 that
Yeah.
by the time you turn 36 or 46, you done hit that thing. So now you can write about it. You see what I'm saying? And
Indeed.
so never ever give up on yourself, your dreams, your purpose. Don't ever feel that it is too late. Like I want to totally echo those sentiments. And can I say it again? When she said be the change you want to see, y'all see her wearing that educated and empowered shirt. She gonna take a picture of it and she gonna post it on Facebook. I need y'all to go to the I am educated and empowered.com online store and get y'all on. You can pick whatever color you want. They come in a whole lot of different colors. And just know that I would appreciate that support, just like I appreciate your support, ma'am.
Red, green, and black. Get that.
That's that Juneteenth edition that she got. Man, look, I'm trying to tell you, those are gonna definitely be I may end up I probably will do a sale for Black Friday, obviously. But
I'm sorry. I
yeah,
got a big old.
I appreciate you so much,
I
Markita.
want
I
the people
really
to
do.
see you say hey.
Oh, look at the baby. Him
She
or
does
her.
that whenever I get on a meeting.
Oh, everybody gotta know who. Say you gotta know me too. Yeah.
Indeed.
Well, I appreciate you more than you will ever know. Do you have anything that's coming up? Any type of announcements that you want to make? And if not that, if people want to contact you, social media, how can they do so? We got the Sconiers at CourtneyMusic.com. But if they don't want the COO Markita, they might want the singer to come out and do something or just to connect with you. How can they connect with you?
Well, anything musically related to me and or the CEO Matthew Long Jr. Because he does interviews and he does engagements as well. You can reach out to me at that email. That's for him and that's for me as well. If you would like to talk to me further about doing something musically. Also, I talked about having safe spaces on the City Colleges of Chicago campuses for you, your family members, your friend, your church, your community to be able to come, or I can come out to you. I'm gonna give you that email as well. If you just need some help and you need somebody to talk to, it's free, grant funded. You don't have to pay for anything. My
Wow.
email is mboone. That was my former name. That's another show. Mboone, MBOONE, the number 8 at ccc.edu. MBOONE, the number 8 at ccc.edu. And I want to help you deal with your trauma.
Okay.
And Miss
So
Toneal gonna help me write my book next year, y'all.
she
So
sure will.
so
She
so
sure
I'm
will.
gonna do music in 2022. My book is coming out 2023.
I love it. I love it. Like, let me tell you, because we're laughing, but people got to understand we can wear multiple hats at the same time. Like, some people can only do one or the other. We know how to eat and chew gum and walk. We can do it all. We can eat, walk, chew gum all at the same time. So I am just so proud of you. All of that information is there. So anything musically, Markeyta.Sconiers at CourtneyMusic.com. If you guys are looking for some type of traumatic assistance or help with traumatic issues, go to mboom the number 8 at ccc.edu. And so in either case, ma'am, I want to thank you so much for your time. We are definitely going to talk offline, because I got a few things I need to run by you, but we're gonna talk offline. But
And
thank
just
you.
let me say real
Go
quick,
ahead.
Lady Toneal is amazing. Thank
Oh,
you. You didn't have to
girl,
say
hold on,
that
let
to
me
the
stop the
old
show.
me. You
Take all
are
your time.
amazing. You are amazing. It's wonderful to see beautiful Black women doing the doggone thing. And I am going to support any and everything, because I see you. When I see you, I see me. And I'm just so encouraged. So thank you for thinking enough of me to have me.
You gonna make me cry, and that's not cute. Like, I'm so serious about that. Like, again, we got some stuff, because I got some stuff coming up. So we gonna definitely talk, so you can mark your calendar so you can be there. And but that's what we do, guys. Like, for everybody and anybody that knows me, whether you under the APS umbrella, I'm glad to be a woman. I'm working on another organization and a project, but that's what we do. My mantra is we are better together. And that is my mantra, because that's my lifestyle. I genuinely believe that we don't have to compete with each other. I'm there to support whatever it is. And my greatest friends are supporters. We support each other, and so in either case, I can't wait for that CD to come out, because I will be watching it. And let me just say this real quick. Before I officially met Markeyta, I met Markeyta through her video. So I saw The Victory Belongs to Jesus. So if you guys have not seen it, go to YouTube. It's on there under the Cormany Music. On Cormany Music, go and subscribe to Cormany.
Subscribe.
Subscribe to that. And Victory Belongs to Jesus. And she did a concert, a birthday concert, that I tuned in for that too, on March 12th. So you guys can go to Cormany Music, and if you want to hear her for yourself, there are some videos there where you can definitively hear her up front and center singing. So thank you, ma'am. You have a blessed rest of your day, and we will definitely be talking soon. And to everybody else, thank y'all so much for tuning in. If you heard something that you like, we're glad for it, because that's the whole point of Inspirational Talk with Toneal. But tag somebody, share the video, somebody that you know that you believe would be able to benefit from this broadcast. You can tag them in it. Be sure to share the video, and make sure that you tune in on Thursday, where my special guest with Inspirational Talk with Toneal for the Powerful Black Men's Edition will be none other than Mr. Christopher Greer. Thank you guys so much. Until next time, you all stay inspired.